Thank you, Ginger, and thank you all of you for listening to me today. So for as long as I can remember, I've always wanted to be a mom. And in university, I was in a class and our professor came around the room and she wanted to know what each of us wanted to do with our lives over the next 5 to 10 years. And all my classmates had really cool dreams, and some just wanted to have permanent teaching contracts. Others wanted to do master's degrees, and I know she wasn't super impressed with my answer when I told her I wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. She thought that wasn't so impressive, but it is what I wanted to do. I just knew that that was my calling. Of course, my phone shut off. Okay, great. However, I was naive enough to think that I was in control of the path that would take me to motherhood. I thought I had it all mapped out. I was going to finish school. I was going to become a teacher. We're going to get married. We're going to have babies and live happily ever after. But at 22, and only halfway through my second year of university, I found out that what I thought was the stomach flu wasn't the stomach flu. In 2005, I start crying already. We welcomed a really beautiful little girl. Yeah. And just like that, I was a mom, just like I always wanted to be. And the stars totally aligned, and thanks to my boyfriend at the time, who's now my husband, and the booming Alberta oil field, I could stay home with her. 3 years later, we got married, and then a year after that, we welcomed a little boy. And in 2011, and even with unpredictability of the oil field, I was able to stay home and just work little odd jobs here and there and just make a little extra shoe money. In 2011, my husband decided to start his own company. It was scary to take such a huge risk, but it was probably one of the best decisions he's ever made other than me. Hi, honey. But one that came with a lot of sacrifice. And in 2015, we just started seeing the benefits of owning our own business when we got hit with the news that there's going to be another oil field recession. And the thought of going back to tight grocery budget or worrying about where the money was going to come from for dance and hockey just made me feel sick. Just weeks before we got that news of another recession, I was scrolling Facebook and I saw an old friend posting about shampoo. I messaged her and she said to me right away, well, I think you should just sign up and sell it. And I said, no, that's not going to happen. But just weeks later now, after this news that we got, and I watched her attend the Canadian launch in Toronto, I knew that I had to find out more. I mean, really, it wasn't a huge risk, and what if I made a couple extra $100 a month? Little did I know that pushing that submit button was one of the best things I would ever do. My business took off faster than I could have imagined. And the first year of my business, I made a 6-figure income, which was a heck of a lot more than the $6,000 I used to make a year doing odd jobs as an event planner. Even though I was living the life I'd always dreamt of as a stay-at-home mom, I didn't realize that in that dream I'd lose a lot of myself. I no longer knew what my identity was as a human if it wasn't wife or mother in the title. I didn't know how much I was missing a community of people that supported me and would lift me up and let me be my true self without expectation. I'd forgotten what it felt like to feel successful or recognized. But MONAT, my team, all of you have given that back to me. Self-confidence, self-worth, value, success, community, and recognition. Not to mention income that pays for dance and hockey. It allows me the time freedom to drive them to those things, watch their performances, watch their games, attend field trips, and be there for all the moments that matter to them. And I don't have to tell all of you that there's also nothing better in this business than watching our own team succeed. From the moms like me that have found their identities again, to the men and women that have been able to leave jobs they hate, cut back hours, and buy anything from new shoes to new houses. I was asked to leave you tonight with my best business tip, which I find super humbling with all the success in this room. So I'd like to close with a little story and something that helped get me through this last year. In hopes that maybe it helps even one of you. So I'm a hockey mom, and when my son first stepped on the ice at 4 years old, he couldn't skate, at all. He'd stand up, he'd fall down. So he actually resorted to crawling and rolling on the ice. If he could find some balance, it was really short-lived, and he would just fall down again. He would come off the rink. I remember the first time he came off the ice, he literally was covered in so much snow that my husband asked him if he was a Zamboni. I thought for sure he'd want to quit. He must be frustrated, he probably hates it, and he's probably not going to want to come back. But when I asked him when he got off the ice that day if he liked hockey, he said, "Mom, I love hockey. I can't wait till next week." He'd even convinced himself he was the fastest kid on the ice. Fastest crawler. But he never gave up, and every 2 steps became 4, then 6 and 8, and soon he fell less and stayed on his feet more, and he was never discouraged. If you think about it, even when our babies take their first step, we praise that first step. We don't praise the first step. We post pictures with pride. We don't ever criticize them when they fall. Why would we? That one tiny little step is a huge, gigantic accomplishment. I know that I don't have to tell you all that 2018 was a tough one. There were months where I saw my checks and numbers decrease, team members quit, and legs I really needed crumble. To be completely honest, it made me feel like a failure, like I wasn't cut out to be a leader, and that I couldn't run a successful business. It took me to the beginning of this year to realize that even as an adult, I had to stop criticizing my falls and start applauding my small steps. That the falls also brought lessons I needed to learn, and that this business is invaluable to me, and the happy, confident person I've become has little to do with my rank, my team numbers, or my income. So this last quarter, I lost my executive director status, and now I'm a proud associate executive director again. But also, in this last quarter, I brought in more VIPs than I did all of last year. I earned, thank you. I earned 3 shares in the Emerging Founders Pool. And I know in my heart it's only a matter of time until my team builds back up to the top with me. I will be an ED again, I will be an SED, and I'll continue to offer this opportunity to anyone that will listen, because I know firsthand that this changes lives. So, a fall is only permanent as you let it be, and the days it feels hard to get back up, I just think about my son. His perseverance, his passion, and his hustle took him from resident Zamboni to top point scorer the last 2 hockey seasons. So celebrate your successes big and small, because falling down is how we grow, and the only time you ever fail is if you refuse to get back up. So I'm here today to tell you that I've gotten back up, and I'm going back to my basics, and I'm building a team that's wide and strong, and I'll be back next year to celebrate with all of you.